On the field after the whistle blows. In the classroom, where ideas start to click.
So the motor is connected to the brain, connected to the power source.
Or backstage before the curtains rise. And in the friendships that make this place more than just a high school. Formed by faith, nurtured by the faculty who are experts in their field and faithful in their discipleship. They feel it in every step of who they're becoming.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wheaton Academy, home of the Warriors. We are just about to get ready, things underway. Today's matchup against the Warriors' arch rival, the St. Francis Spartans. The Warriors started their season red hot 5-0, then took a trip down to the Sunshine State where they went 2-3. Then were back in action yesterday where they picked up their 8th win of the season. I'm Caden Brown alongside my co-anchor Ben Amlicker. Ben, what are the keys to today's victory?
Thank you, Caden. Yeah, we got a great matchup today. Two rivalry schools. They did not play last year, so it's been 2 years since we've seen these two teams square off. But yeah, we should have a good matchup today. St. Francis, 4-5 overall in the season. Wheaton Academy, fresh off that trip to Florida, like you said, Caden. We got senior Lincoln Park on the mound today, who's pitched excellently this year. So that he should be a key to success for the Warriors here.
Absolutely. First pitch up next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wheaton Academy, where the first batter stepped into the batter's box. Hauser is leading off for us today.
First pitch, and we're underway. It's just inside. A nice heater there from Lincoln Park.
Park has been impressive on the season. I don't envision him having much trouble today.
Nor do I. Yeah, he and TJ Sice and Alex Swallow really led the team. Fouled back.
He fouled that one pretty well, even at the count. Park trying to find his zone early in this game. 1-1 is the count.
Here comes the 1-1. Down and away, just misses. That'll be 2-1 now. Park delivers. Oh, and that plunks Hauser. He just wears that. Man, that does not feel good, but he will take the free base to get things started here for the Trojans.
No, if you're Lincoln Park right now, you shouldn't be freaking out. You know, you've been having good season so far, great trip to Florida, and now you just have to settle down early in this game.
First pitch swinging by Ruckel. 0-1 now. Park stares in, gets the sign from Eli Kaufman behind the plate, and fires. That's outside. The fastball misses.
Raquel's been averaging 231 so far, so pretty decent.
Yeah, that's a solid season for sure. Park takes a look at the runner, fires. Another swing and a miss, a great location. A little down low there. Ruckel can't quite get to it.
That's more representative of how Lincoln Park season's been going so far. Swings, a lot of swings and misses.
Yeah, absolutely. Park now looks in and fires. Runner goes, and that is creamed to deep right, but it's caught. And there might be a chance of doubling off. It is close, but the runner gets back. Nice catch out there.
Yeah, that's Mark Jackson there in right field. Really impressive play by him. Was able to see that ball right off the bat.
Good base run in there as the runner was going, but Hauser was able to scurry back before Mark Jackson could double him off. Now McGrath steps in. He has been leading the team all year. Big numbers, haven't.
Absolutely.
Throw over. Oh, it gets away. The runner is off, and he will take second. Not what you want to see, but
Nearly took the Spartans manager's head off on that one.
yeah. Watch out in the dugout there. Man on second now, 1 out to the dangerous McGrath. Fires. A strike called.
Behind the home plate today is Eli Kaufman, a junior, his first year on varsity, getting the start today.
Love to see that. Outside again. Fastball command looks a little bit off so far, but, you know, I'm sure he'll lock in soon.
Absolutely. When you have a dangerous hitter like McGrath here, you really can't hang anything just in the middle of the zone.
Yeah, you got to be careful around these sluggers. But he fires now. Paints the outside edge. That's a nice pitch. Go ahead in the count 1-2.
Now, if you're Lincoln Park, you really just got to be able to lock in. You know, you have a runner in a scoring position right now, made a bad error there. Just deliver a strike here, get 2 outs, trying to get out of this inning.
Absolutely. No need to fret the guy on second if you can just focus on the batter here. And an awkward half swing. He gets the strikeout. Great pitch by Lincoln. He just put him in a blender there.
Absolutely. Great frame by Eli Kaufman as well.
Now number 17, Griffin, climbs in now. 2 outs, so Lincoln Park will focus on the batter and hope to get out of this inning. Clean frame. He fires. Breaking ball. Called a strike. It's 0-1.
When you're dealing with these taller hitters like this, you really got to take advantage of the bottom of the zone.
Yeah. Some nice break on that one.
Absolutely.
Park takes a look at the runner and delivers. Another nice breaking ball. That's tough. 0-2 now. Firmly in control of the count.
That's been the story of Lincoln Park's pitching so far. He's been able to get a lot of guys thinking they have it, and then just last second it breaks. They swing through it, don't get any contact.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can put him away now here. Delivers the pitch. It's down low. Runner takes third.
Now you got to be on high alert. You got a runner at third. The count is 1-2. You ideally want to get out of this inning with no runs.
Park delivers. Bit outside on the fastball. The speedy Hauser at third.
Griffin is hitting an impressive .357 so far this season. Another dangerous hitter.
Absolutely. Park fires. It gets the swing and miss, but the ball is loose. Oh no, and it's a drop, third strike. And St. Francis will score a run.
Kaufman couldn't find it after it hit the ground there. That's unfortunate.
That's just an unfortunate play. You can tell Lincoln
St.
Park's a little
Francis,
frustrated there, but we'll have a little meeting on the mound and hope to recover.
St. Francis strikes first here in this one. Not what you want to see.
So despite a 1-run in and a man on first, Lincoln Park pitches 2 strikeouts, you know. Park steps off, keeps the runner in check. As Zagata climbs in here. The pitch. That's hit well to center. It'll drop. Runner takes a turn, but runners will stay at first and second. That's a nice hit for Zagata in the 5-hole.
You got to wonder what Eli Kaufman said to Lincoln Park on the mound there. You know, just settle down. You got this. Only down 1 run.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate play. Hard to blame anyone. Just a good pitch in the dirt. Hard to locate that, but you got to just move on and get to the next batter.
Absolutely.
Now Grigonis steps in.
He is also batting .357 on the season.
It's a nice year. Gets the first pitch strike here, so hopefully he can take advantage of a little momentum in the count here and put him away. Park now with the pitch. Paints the outside edge, a commanding 0-2 lead.
This is where you got to finish at bats here.
Yeah, the 0-2 really helps. You got to put him away when you have him at this point, and Park looks to do that.
Man on second.
Here's the pitch. And that's slammed up the middle. There may be a play at the plate. Slightly bobbled in center, but the throw is going home. It is cut off, and another run comes in for the Spartans. It's 2-0.
Yeah, that can't happen. Now the Spartans lead 2-0 at the top of the first here. The Warrior defense has been really strained so far, so they got to figure out a strategy here to slow this down a little bit. This Spartans offense is red hot.
Yeah, you can live with a couple nice swings by the Spartans, but it's hard to live with a couple unforced errors by the defense. That's hard to recover from.
Warriors are not out of this game yet. They face some tough competition. This team got some grit, so don't count them out here in the first.
Absolutely not. We got a little bit of a sibling affair in the Spartans. The second Zagata climbs in, hoping to carry on the legacy that his brother started earlier this inning. The pitch, it's a bit low. Lincoln Park looks a little bit frazzled on the mound, and you can't really blame him. It's been just an unfortunate inning of unforced errors.
Absolutely. You know, it's really something that you want to control, but sometimes you really just can't control it.
That's inside again. The count now 2-0. Runners on first and second. Park still looking to get out of this with a relatively low lead by the Spartans. He fires. That's a nice breaking pitch.
You know, he's been able to get these batters to swing and miss. He has to finish these at-bats. Really unfortunate that, you know, this turned into a 2-run inning.
Yeah, the breaking pitch has looked really nice, nasty. And he pitches another. That's hit over to second base. Christensen has it, and he puts him away. That's 3 outs, and the Warriors will escape, but not before the Spartans tally 2 runs and take a lead into the bottom of the first.
Yeah, not the ideal inning, but, you know, if you just keep your head down, just keep working, you know, get the bats working now, this game is far from over.
Welcome back to Warrior Baseball. It's the bottom of the first in case you're just joining us. The Spartans scored 2 in the top half of the inning off some unforced errors by the Warrior defense. Lincoln Park looked pretty good for the most part. He had some nice curveballs and fastballs working, but now Warriors look to potentially even the score here. Braden Christensen steps up to the plate to lead things off. That's a first pitch breaking ball. Christensen will take it for strike 1.
That was a nice pitch. Looked like it was going to be inside. Last second breaks inside. Can't blame Braden for not swinging on that one.
Christensen pulls out the bunt, but frazzles the pitcher a little bit. It's outside. It'll be 1-1. Pitcher Sam Yanago is taking the mound for the Spartans today. He steps in and delivers the pitch. It's low and outside. Christensen takes 2-1.
That was a good take. You know, don't swing at bad pitches.
That is the general rule of baseball, Caden. Sam Yanago looks and delivers the pitch. That's a nice one over the outside edge. It'll now be 2-2. Braden Christensen, he can really swing it though, so look to see him attack here.
Christensen batting 111 so far this season.
Time called. Christensen steps out, takes a deep breath. You know, Caden, I couldn't help notice in the break of the inning, the Swiders pulled aside the team and gave him a little talking to. You got to help. You got to think that was just calming the team down, telling him to take one step at a time. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Hits the catcher, but he is unfazed.
Great fight by Braden Christensen there. And you said earlier, it's the general rules of baseball, but after those errors in the first inning, you know, sometimes you do got to take it back to the basics, make sure you got your good footing.
That's absolutely right, yeah. Sometimes you got to oversimplify things. I think that's the message the team was told in the break of the inning. Christensen waits. Sam Yanago steps and fires. That's high. It's a full count. Christensen has worked a nice little at-bat here.
Absolutely. Now this type of energy you want from your leadoff hitter.
Absolutely. A full count. And that'll be ball 4. A close take by Christensen. You know, I thought he might ring him up there, but he told him go to first base, and that's a great at bat to get things started.
Absolutely, and that's the energy you want from your leadoff hitter, like I was saying. Someone who just won't go out.
Now stepping in, junior Mark Jackson. He's put up big numbers this year.
You know, he returned from last year's team. You know, he was a sophomore on varsity, got a lot of at-bats, showed some real promise, looking to capitalize on his junior year.
Yeah, he's really leveled things up. Here's the pitch. That's high and away. Ball 1.
Jackson hitting .303 with a home run this season.
Love to see that power. The pitcher, Sam Yanago, a lefty on the mound. Christensen taking a relatively conservative lead. Time is called. Now Jackson steps back in. Sam Yanago readies, delivers the pitch. Oh, that's a nice breaking ball. A little bit low and in. Jackson may have gone too far there. Has a quick exchange with the umpire. Very respectful, of course.
You know, while Christensen isn't one of the best base runners on the team, he still has a stolen base, so you got to keep an eye out for him. You can't fully fall asleep on the mound.
Here's the pitch now. That's a grounder to short. They might try and turn 2 here. They get, oh, the ball escapes. And the Warriors will now have runners at first and second with no outs. And St. Francis does not escape the same defensive miscues that plagued Wheaton Academy in the bottom half.
Like you were saying, you live by the errors, you die by the errors. It really just does come in runs here. And so if you can capitalize off the errors like that, you know, Jackson with not the best hit, but still was able to find a base, and Christensen was able to get on second.
And now if you're the Spartans here, you do not smile as senior Jackson Fromm steps up to the plate. He's put up huge numbers this year.
Absolutely.
Commit to Grove City College in Pennsylvania. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. 0-1. I think we got a little first pitch breaking ball. Sammy Nago hoping to set off Jackson Fromm a little bit, not give him the heater right off the bat.
Absolutely. And you got to be careful when you give him his heaters because, like you were saying, he has some power in that swing. So you got to be careful what you give him. 3
homers on the year for Fromm. Here's the pitch. The pitch is called a strike. Fromm held back the swing, was maybe not happy with the call, but it is a strike, and it's 0-2 now.
On deck, you got Dallas Johnson, who has been absolutely raking this year when it comes to home runs.
Sammy Nago takes a look back at second and fires. That's outside, 1-2. Good eye from Fromm there.
You know, he's really taken a leadership role in this team. One of the only seniors, really take a leadership role and help these young guys who are maybe making their first start on varsity this year.
Absolutely. 1-2 now to Fromm. Pitch. It's a little spinner. Fromm hits it a mile high to right field. It's caught. Tagging up is Christensen. He will make it. A nice throw, but he beats it. And an out, but a productive one nonetheless for Fromm.
Christensen looks like he's hurting maybe a little bit there on third. He was kind of grimacing after his run to second. But it looks like he's going to stay out there, show some of that grit we were talking about earlier.
So runners at the corners now for the Warriors. The inning very much alive, and in climbs senior Dallas Johnson, who's put up huge numbers this year, especially in the power department, Caden.
Absolutely. You know, like we were saying just with Fromm, you got to be careful what you give him. You can't give him easy fastballs because he'll take you to the outfield with that.
A meeting on the mound now for St. Francis. Not quite sure what they're discussing. Potentially a stolen base threat here at first with Mark Jackson. He's been leaving the team, I believe.
Something to note is that Dom Morell is not in the lineup today. He's probably their best base runner, very, very fast, and is able to hit the ball just as better as anyone on the team. And so he may rub off on these other guys, the younger guys, to be better base runners and potentially steal some bases.
Here's the pitch. Runner goes, and it escapes. Mark Jackson will make it by a mile to second base. Christensen holds up at third, and an immediate stolen base. The count now 1-0 and 2 runners in scoring position for Johnston. Hopefully he can drive a couple home here. Sammy Nago with the pitch. That's outside. A good eye by Johnston. It's 2-0 now, a hitter's count. Can't help but think he's thinking about driving one here. 2-0, good fastball count.
If you're up 2-0, then can't help but think about driving one.
Sammy Nago gets the call, fires, and that's low and inside. It's 3-0 now, and maybe the Spartans just think about giving Johnston a free base.
Yeah, the mentality here for Johnson has to be middle, fastball, swing at it.
Yeah, if it's not there, I'm not sure he wants to swing. But he climbs in. Here's the pitch. That is a middle fastball, but it is hit foul by Johnston.
You know, you can't be angry at that. You know, he saw one he liked. He's a good hitter. Might as well take a swing at it. You're still up 3-1 on the count.
Absolutely. First inning, you're just trying to put up runs on the board. Don't need to play too conservative yet. Here's the pitch. And that is a fastball right down the middle.
You know, props to Sammy Nago for being able to climb back. He was down 3-0. Delivered one we knew Johnson was going to like, and delivered a nice strike there. Yeah, that's a gutsy fastball, but he fired in there, and Johnson took it. So we got a full count now. 2 runners on, and here's the pitch. That is low. Good at-bat by Johnston. Way to not concede there. And the bases are now full for sophomore Angelo Morell. A little bit of a brother-on-brother matchup here. We got the Morell brothers on the Wheaton Academy side, and then the Zagata brothers on the other side, on the Wheaton and the Spartan side. Love to see that.
That sibling love here. Morrell climbs in. Here's the pitch. Curveball outside, and it's 1-0 to Morrell. No place to put him. You might see some fastballs down the middle here.
Yeah.
Angelo looking to drive one. One out. The count is 1-0. Sammy Nago fires. That's way in. Oh. I spoke a little bit too soon. I'm sorry, guys. That was, I thought, in the batter's box, but it is now 1-1. Morrell will climb back in. Fires. Oh, that is even more inside than the last one. You can't call that one a strike, Gaten.
Yeah. I thought the one 2 pitches ago really hit him on the thigh there. Must have been seeing something else.
Yeah, Morrell does crowd the plate a bit. That back leg is definitely close to the plate, but he'll climb in now. 2-1 count. That is right back up the middle. Gets by the pitcher. Mark Jackson is coming in. I don't know if there'll be a play at the plate. He scores standing up, and just like that, the Warriors have even the score 2-2 on a single by Angelo Morrell. You love to see that from your underclassmen on the varsity team.
Yeah, props to Angelo Morrell there. Maybe a strike that he wasn't so much of a fan of. Did not let him rattle him, and then just took one right to center.
Yeah, that's a nice knock up the middle. And now we got a little pitching mound visit here. Perhaps pitcher Sammy Nago's a little bit rattled. Couple hits, couple walks, but now he can still escape out of this inning with a tie ball game.
You know, the Warriors really know the feeling after, be an error there at first, or at second, and just not great pitching to start. You still have hope that Lincoln Park can deliver us a clean slate. But, Sammy Nago, even though giving up 2 runs, he can still deliver a nice game here.
Now climbs in junior Colton Miller, a multi-sport athlete. He's also the quarterback of the Warrior football team. Will look to do some damage. Takes a big hack on the first pitch. It's 0-1.
Even though it was a swing and a miss, you could definitely see some power in Miller's swing there.
Absolutely. Sammy Anayo now looks in. 0-1 the pitch. And that's a breaking ball over the outside edge. Miller a little bit unhappy with that call, but it is a strike nonetheless. 0-2 now. Hoping to climb back out of this hole. Time called by Miller.
No, even though you said something about football, it's not that irrelevant. You have the Swiders who are also involved in the football program. He has a good relationship with both his coaches. Really just do believe in him when it comes to pressure situations.
Yeah, his coach on both fields. Here's the pitch now. That is crushed into the gap. We'll see where the base runners go. They hold up at second and third. So no run score, but a nice knock to the gap, especially behind in the count there.
Absolutely. This is just where you want to be if you're junior catcher Eli Kaufman. Your base is loaded, only 1 out, tied 2-2. You can make up for that that ball that got behind him and scored a run in the first.
Yeah, I got to imagine that might be on his mind, although wasn't entirely his fault. That's the tough baseball play.
For sure.
But he'll climb in now, hoping to erase that from all memories. The pitch is outside, and it's 1-0. And once again, no place to put Kaufman. Loud foul ball there. The count now 1-1. That one's on to Hawthorne Street if you're familiar with the West Chicago area. No cars going by. Everyone's safe. Kaufman will climb back in now. Semionago stares in. The 1-1. That's low and inside. 2-1 now is the count.
know, for Eli Kaufman, this is a fairy tale situation right here. You got bases loaded, 1 out. You know, he's looking to do some damage here, just like his counterpart.
The 2-1. Oh, and a nice breaking ball there. Takes a good swing at it, but it's low. It's 2-2 now. A big deep breath. Kaufman climbs back in, hoping to put one in play. 2-2. And that's a spinner over the outside edge. Might have been tipped, but it is a strikeout. 2 outs now, and senior Eli Tate will climb in, hoping to do some damage before this inning comes to a close.
Yeah, good at bat by Kaufman, just couldn't finish it off. A lot of breaking balls, just a little bit behind him.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't quite have a sense for the breaking ball yet. I think he was hunting fastball.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. That's a heater, high and away. 1-0 now to Tate.
Tate the senior, one of the only seniors on this team.
Yeah, it's a big junior presence on his team, along
Absolutely.
with a couple sophomores. But here's the 1-1. That's put in play. It's a soft ground to second, and he just beats him. A nice play by the second baseman. And the Spartans will escape this inning with a tie ball game.
You know, probably not the first thing they wanted, but, you know, just in the situation where, you know, this whole lineup really was seeing pitches well. You know, not the worst thing in the world. And now we can see Lincoln Park trying to step on the mound again, just regain focus and try to pitch a clean game for the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Performance Trust Field here at Wheaton Academy for this afternoon's girls soccer school athletic conference match between the Knights of Chicago Christian.
Follow us on YouTube. Catch all our sports live streams and chapel live streams. WheatonAcademy.org on YouTube. We also got some fine arts events that will be live streamed on our YouTube page. Don't miss those. It's be exciting.
The rich history between our two Christian schools and athletic programs. We pray that you protect these athletes as they play.
Busy day on campus. We have a boys volleyball game just a few minutes away at the Warrior Dome, and just right across from us, the girls JV soccer game. We're off to a hot start this season.
Chicago Christian wearing the number 2 uniform, Camille Jackson. Before Faith Fields, number 9, Ella A. Number 10, Karis Teichsbach. Number 18, Ava Mosenga. Number 20, Anya Gladman.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Warriors and the Spartans once again. It's the top of the second now, and if you're just joining us, 2 half innings that look strangely alike. Some poor defense and 2 runs on the board for both teams. There's a loud ground ball up the middle. Fromm makes a play on it. Just beats it out. A nice play by Fromm there to beat a speedy runner. And there's 1 out now.
You know, after a inning like we had last time, where defensive errors seem pretty common, it's nice to just make a solid play right there at first.
Absolutely. You see a deep exhale from Park as he sees his defense do their jobs and get him a quick out. Spahn now steps in, the pitch. Fastball. He takes a big hack at it, just tips it. Will be 0-1. Yeah, I think we're just looking to see a little advancement for Park this half inning. Just want to put the first inning behind him and get off to another strong start.
Absolutely.
There's a high fly ball down the right field line. Jackson's there, and he makes the catch. 2 outs.
It's a night and day difference from the first inning there. A lot of errors, but this time through nice play at first, and then routine pop up by Jackson up there in right field.
Absolutely. I think you'd love to get him, love to see that fastball command working once again for Park. Loud foul ball there. It'll be 0-1 now. 2 outs. A quick inning potentially here for Park.
you know, he's been pitching already a lot better than he was in the first inning.
He looks in the 0-1. Spinner, it is hit out into the gap. That'll fall. A base hit to left field for the leadoff hitter, Hauser. He's aboard for the second time now. Despite that hit, still not many pitches thrown here. Here's a first pitch.
To Raquel.
It'll be 0-1 now. Man on first, 2 outs. Park pitches, the runner goes. Kaufman throws down to second. A nice throw, just a hair late. That was just a good jump by Hauser, but Kaufman put a great throw right on the money there.
You can't be mad at that. Just great pop, just a little bit late. Great base running by Hauser.
It is 0-2 now, though. Here's the pitch. And a called third strike. A beautiful breaking ball that just clips the outside edge. It's 2-2, and we go to the bottom of the second.
If you are interested in going to Wheaton Academy, feel free to check out the Wheaton Academy website to see our Shadow Days. Come experience a day at Wheaton Academy, see what it's like. You can find that at wheatonacademy.org and navigate yourself to the Shadow Day portion. We're back here for the bottom of the second. Lopaka will lead us off.
Senior Luke Lopaka climbs in, the number 9 hitter, hoping to get started where the Warriors left off here. Here's the pitch. That's low and away. Good take from Lopaka. Semianago on the mound. He gets the call, and here's the pitch. That's low and away. 2-0 now.
Semianago seems to err on the side of either for right-handed batters on the inside, left-handed batters on the outside.
Yeah, it's a great observation, Caden. He fires now, the 2-0. Another spinner low, and Luke Lopaka with a nice eye to start this at-bat.
Yeah, you can kind of see he's really going to generally the same spot, just not anywhere Lopaka wants to swing at.
The 3-0 now. And that is low and inside. A 4-pitch walk for Lopaka. And perhaps a nightmare start for pitcher Semianago, who had a long inning full of work for the first and now has to see the top of the order once again.
Braden Christensen showed just some great base running. A lot of grit, too. Looked like he maybe got hurt in his slide to second. Troubles continued to third, but he was still able to do some nice base running and score a run.
Absolutely. The first pitch, and that's a fastball right down the middle. Christensen, a very patient approach, but it definitely paid off in his first at-bat.
Absolutely. You know, like you were saying, that patient mindset, just not getting ahead of himself.
One step at a time for Christensen, the 1-0. That's up and in. 1-1 now. Lopatka at first. Perhaps trying to get a read on the pitcher. 1-1 now. Oh, and that's a nice breaking ball, but perhaps a little bit inside. You could see the catcher and the pitcher a little disappointed that it wasn't called a strike.
Two-one now to Christensen.
Shows bunt once again. That ball's in the dirt. Lopatka takes off. And that's the second time now that we've seen Christensen pull out a little bunt, and I believe both times it's kind of frazzled the pitch.
Absolutely. You know, it's not a play that happens a whole lot, but you know, it does have its effects, and obviously there frazzled the pitcher enough for Pack to take second. Great play there by Christensen without even having to swing the bat.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he's even looking to bunt or just looking to confuse a little bit. That's inside, and he'll take his free base. 2 walks now for Christensen. Runners on first and second, and the manager calls time. You wonder if we might see a pitching change here. And we will see a pitching change. Semianago will take his leave after getting through 1 frame, giving up 2 runs, and leaving runners on first and second to start the second inning.
Yeah, honestly, not a terrible start, but I guess the manager, Manager Kimbor, was not happy with that performance, and will look to switch things up.
So now number 27, Grigonis, will take the mound. You can see him warming up a little bit. Not an easy task warming up mid-inning, but he'll stretch a bit, take some warm-up pitches.
Well, now you're going to see some of the meat of the lineup here. We've got Mark Jackson on deck here, and then after that, the ever-so-dangerous hitter Jackson Fromm.
Nice shot of Jackson Fromm and 2 of his friends there. Can't help but think Luke Rodriguez and Carlton maybe giving him some talk from the sidelines, maybe tell him to hit a homer next AB.
I don't think anyone would be upset with that.
Absolutely not. Some warm-up pitches now for Grigonis. Look on here. It's a nice day, about 60 degrees. Some clouds in the sky, but it's been a beautiful sunny day so far. Hope the rain stays away, as many games going around on campus. Girls soccer and volleyball both underway. Grigonis asked for 5 more, but is brutally denied by the umpire there. The game within the game.
We run a tight show around here at the IHSA when it comes to warm-up pitches.
Absolutely. These umpires, they run a tight ship, and good for them, you know? It's their world. We're living in it. You can tell Grigonis here, yet to see his control, but you can tell just by his stuff that he's got a little bit more power than the former pitcher. The fastball looks like it's got a little bit more carry on it, and that breaking pitch had some nice downward movement.
Absolutely.
He'll exchange a brief word with his catcher, and we are underway once again. Mark Jackson will step in. Runners on first and second. No outs now for the Warriors, and they hope to take a lead.
Really dangerous situation here for the Spartans.
Jackson climbs in. Grigonis takes a look at second, fires the pitch, and a breaking ball to start. Jackson sees it right away, spits on it in the dirt. One 1-0 now. You got to wonder what his approach is with not much command shown and runners on. Here's the pitch. Oh, watch out, dugout. A nice play by the coach and the players there. They flagged down that grounder. No harm done.
The game within the game, you know, just gotta be ready for the ball, no matter if you're in the game or you're not in the
No
game.
one is safe. You gotta be ready at all times. Jackson is ready now. There's a 1-1. He awaits the pitch. Oh, and that is creamed to the outfield. Mile high. Center fielder's got a beat. He catches it. Tagging up. And great base running there by Luke Lepaka. He takes third. A close play, but he gets there. We now have runners on first and third. And just one out. So a productive out for Jackson, who advances the runner.
Runners on the corners now, with perhaps the most dangerous hitter on the team, Jackson Fromm, stepping into the box.
Absolutely. Jackson Fromm climbs in, hoping to put the Warriors up on the scoreboard here. Here's the pitch. That breaking ball is in the dirt. Not a hard take for Fromm. It's 1-0. Gronis readies the next pitch and fires. It's a low fastball, a back pick by the catcher. Tried to double off Christensen back at first. He was unable to do so, but a nice throw there. That last pitch was called a strike, so it is 1-1 now to Fromm. That is hit a mile high off to the right side. Hits a tree across the street. Fromm a little bit late to it. You could tell he wanted that fastball. Fromm will once again climb in. The count is 1-2. Another check on Christensen there at first. Can tell the Spartans are thinking stolen base from him.
That's the second step off. I believe he doesn't have any more, so maybe Christensen can get a bigger lead here to second.
Kragonis fires the pitch. The runner goes. Fromm takes it. And a nice sequence for the Warriors. They now have runners on second and third. And Fromm with a nice take to make it 2-2. Fromm will now step in. The count 2-2. Here's the pitch. Oh, and that gets a piece of him. Just hits him in the back belt area. And the bases will now be loaded. Fromm did not flinch at all. Just barely scraped him, but he'll take his free base.
Especially when you're down the count like that, you know, the last thing you want to do if you're a pitcher is throw right behind him and just nick him there.
Yeah, and he can't be happy now to see Senior Dallas Johnson step back in here with the bases loaded. The first pitch on the way. And a big swing and a miss. Heater first pitch. You could tell Johnson wanted it.
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, bases are loaded. You know, probably one of the best hitters on the team, leads the team in home runs. You know, you definitely want that grand slam opportunity.
Absolutely. Ragonis now fires in the 1-0-1. A foul tip, but once again a bit late. 0-2 now.
Got to be smart here. Doesn't want to ground that into a double play and, you know, really just saw this opportunity of having bases loaded with only one out.
Two heaters, Caden. You think we'll see another here?
You have to be careful, like we were saying earlier.
Oh, and that, he's not quite as late to that one. Johnston fouls it off. Stays alive, 0-2.
Like we were saying, that he is a dangerous hitter, so we have to be really careful when we give him fastballs. Even there, he got a piece of it. Maybe a little bit more on time, and that thing is gone.
Grigonis ahead 0-2 in the count. We'll see him try and finish away Johnston. He fires and spikes it. Lepaka takes a look, but he'll scurry back to third. Way to get there by the St. Francis catcher there. Did not let any runners advance.
Heads up play like Lepaka there. You know, he very well could have gotten to home plate there, but you know, made the smart decision to stay at third.
Yeah, no need to risk it when you got two great hitters up. The 1-2 now to Johnston. And that's foul tipped into the catcher's glove. 3 strikes. And he is out. That'll be 2 outs now for the Warriors, who still have the bases loaded. And Angelo Morel climbs in, who's perhaps the guy you want to see after he had a 2 RBI knock in the top half of the first.
Absolutely. And back
bottom
to
half,
Dallas Johnson, you know, he's a really great hitter this year, but last year he did have some struggles, so just trying to stay consistent is the name of the game for him.
No doubt about it. And here's the first pitch. And that is a fair ball. He does not get to third. And Angelo Morel drives in another run. 3 RBIs on the day, and we're not even in the third inning.
You know, Braden Christensen showed off his speed there, just sliding right into third. Just a great play by him, and has really flexed his base running muscle so far this game.
Yeah, excellent base running for the Warriors there. It was just an awkward, tall ground ball over to the third baseman, who really had no play other than try and beat Christensen to the bag, was unable to do so.
Absolutely. Miller now in the box.
Colton Miller steps in. Still the bases loaded for the Warriors. And a curveball. First pitch. Man, that looked like he was coming right at Colton's head and just broke right into the inside edge.
Just a great pitch.
Got to tip your cap to that one. Miller will now step back in, down 0-1 on the count. Here's the pitch. Gets the fastball he wanted. And the camera is taken out. Oh, boy. We're losing technology left and right, folks. The live stream is still up and going, Caden, so we will rejoice for that. But Colin with a loud foul ball there. It's now 0-2, 2 outs still. Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3. And Gregonis gets out of the jam, giving up only 1 run. You can't be too unhappy with that if you're the Spartans here.
Yeah, that caught the inside of the pipe there. You know, not a terrible pitch at all. Great strike there for a strikeout. What has turned from great cloud cover into some showers. We are now experiencing some a little inclement weather here, but the umpire has signaled that the game will continue until further notice. Pitch low for McGrath.
Ball 1 to McGrath. Like Caden said, we're experiencing some light showers here. Park fires. That's a little bit low and away. It'll be 2-0 now. Park has been settling in nicely since the second inning. He hopes to continue that momentum. Fastball over the outer edge, swing and a miss. Just fouled back actually by McGrath. It'll be 2-1. Park looks in. Kicks, fires. A curveball, and that's a good pitch there. Called strike. McGrath watches it. It's now 2-2. He fires. Big ground ball to Miller. And he makes a nice throw.
Great throw by Miller there. Really shot off his quarterback arm.
Yeah, you can tell he's got a cannon. You could watch that either on the baseball field or the football field, but he throws one over from the hot corner there. 1 away now. Griffin gives that ball a ride deep left field. And that is gone. Take me to church. It's off the Whitechapel. Wow, that is a blast. An impressive home run by Griffin, and he'll tie the score back up 3-3.
He just saw that one all the way through the zone. The Spartans could not be more pleased with that.
The Spartan bench comes out to congratulate their comrade who has now tied the score. Park's just got to move on. That was the first extra base hit of the day, I believe, for either team.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of knocks to shallow left, center, right, but that's the first big hit of the day, and it is a loud one.
Griffin's second home run this season. Just really great job to left field off the Whitechapel.
Park is unfazed. He fires in a nice breaking ball for strike one.
You know, that's the mentality you have to have. You know, you give up a home run, you can't put your head down and just sulk about it. No, you got to have these two other batters here to strike out.
That's exactly right, Caden. You know, you got to move on. That pitch is called strike. The count now 1-2. Park fires again. That one is outside. It's now 2-2. Park working a lot faster this inning, I'm noticing. He fires. And a dirty breaking pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout for Park. Zagata is retired. That's a great recovery from senior Lincoln Park there. Just moving on from that loud home run and getting a strikeout.
Absolutely. You know, it must feel just terrible. I mean, just think of a home run, but, you know, just next batter, strike him right out on a nasty breaking ball, and you can't ask for a better rebound than that.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of curves out of him. Perhaps he's feeling a good command for that pitch right now. He fires. Called strike two. The count is now 0-2. Park ready to go immediately. He kicks a long one and he fires. And that is waved on and missed. A nasty breaking ball in the dirt.
We saw some fire there from Lincoln Park there. You know, gives up a home run, cannot be happy about that. Goes and strikes the next two batter out. You know, that's the mentality you want to have, like we were saying. Just can't put your head down and get all upset about it, but go strike the next two batters out. That's exactly what he did.
That's exactly right, Caden. We go now to the top, or the bottom of the third, rather, after a loud home run by Griffin. That is even the score 3-3. We'll catch you in the next inning. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the bottom of the third. The Warriors and the Spartans are tied 3-3 after a home run by Griffin evened up the score in the top half of the inning. Eli Kaufman, the catcher, will start things off for the Warriors here. Hope to regain the lead.
Struck out in his last at-bat. You know, some great swings, but just could not find the barrel on the ball there.
Yeah, you could tell he struggled a little bit with the breaking pitch, but it's a new pitcher now. First pitch fastball, called a strike.
Nice pitch there. Low and away, caught the bottom corner.
Yeah, you just kind of got to tip your helmet to that one. He fires again. A breaking pitch. Oh, wow. I thought that might have caught the inside corner, but it is called a ball. 1-1. Kaufman will say yes, please, and thank you. It is now 1-1, and Kaufman climbs back in, readies the next pitch. He fires. Fastball high and in.
Saw that one right at his island.
So now the pitcher, Grigonis, will hope to settle in a groove here. 2 frames for Semianago were not the cleanest, both defensively and pitching-wise, so hopes to carry on the Spartans with a little more consistency, hopefully settle in a nice rhythm here and get some outs.
If you're Kaufman, you're looking for the pitch, but also, you know, you love a walk here to start the inning.
Yeah, that is how the last inning got started, and the one before that. Braden Christensen has been leading off with 2 walks, and he's been getting the Warriors in business early. The pitch now. That is inside, and ball 4 is taken. Nice at-bat from Kaufman. Love to see that in his second AB. And up steps senior Eli Tate. Oh, we're going to see a pinch runner now. Senior TJ Sias is checking into the game. He will run for Kaufman.
Sias has showed his talent on the mound. Let's see how he is as a base runner.
Yeah, he can really pitch it. He had an excellent game the other day, threw a gem against Timothy Christian.
Absolutely.
Tate shows bunt, and he lays a nice bunt down. The third baseman charges. The pitcher grabs it and makes a nice play. The runner advances, but a really nice play off the mound by Grigonis.
Absolutely. You know, just really heads-up play there. Could have let that get by him, but made the conscious decision to just get right there. Made a nice throw first.
Yeah, I thought Tate might have gotten a knock with that bunt. It was well placed, but you just got to tip your helmet. It was a great play by the pitcher, and the runner is advanced. So a nice sacrifice. And up steps
That's Lepaka.
Luke Lepaka, yes. Here's the pitch. Curveball right over the outside edge. Can't do much with that. You kind of got to just watch as that curves in from outside. And Lepaka will start off the count 0-1. Takes a look back at Sias. Grigonis now fires.
That's a hefty lead by Sias there.
I was noticing that too, Katie. He got, I'd say, close to a third of the way down the line, if not more.
Absolutely. If they're not careful, you could go and snag third.
Yeah, I mean, he's brought in there for his speed. He's known for his speed and his pitching. Takes a big secondary. Strike over the outside edge. The count is now 1-2 now to Lepaka. Grigonis gets the call. Kicks, and he fires. That's a little bit too outside. The count will be 2-2. A nice take from Lepaka.
Double play is out of the picture here for Lepaka. Don't overthink it. You know, if it's your pitch, then take a swing and see what happens.
Grigonis readies and fires. A little bit behind it. That's a nice fastball. Low and outside. Lepaka takes a swing, but he's a little bit too late. That'll be a strikeout.
You got to give it to him. I mean, pitches that looked like that all at bat, you know, have caught the zone. So trying to protect the plate the best he can, just could not get that ball where he wanted it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So now a strikeout for Grigonis. Could get out of this inning unscathed, but up steps Braden Christensen, who's been patient and effective so far at the plate for the Warriors. Here's the first pitch. He takes it, and this patient approach really paying off, Caden, wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely. You know, Braden has been one of the best disciplined batters so far in this game. Really has been an advantage that, you know, maybe doesn't show up on the stat sheet that often, but definitely shows up in game impact.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better than myself. Here's the pitch now. Same spot, same call. It's a ball. The count is now 2-0. And Christensen proving once again he won't bite at that outside fastball.
You know, Gronis is loving that outside for those lefty hitters.
Sias takes a big lead over at second. The 2-0 now. It's a little bit more inside. Christensen liked that one. Just got a piece of it and fouls it back.
Hats off to the Warriors. They've been able to figure out, you know, where he likes to put the pitches in. Just being able to have a good eye when it comes in. If it's outside, maybe that's not what they're looking for. More inside, that's definitely what especially Christensen wants right now.
Yeah, you're so right, Caden. I think we've seen a really nice overall team approach from the Warriors today. They've been drawing some walks, getting deep into counts. Here's the 2-2. There's a 2-1, excuse me, and now that is a ball in the dirt. Christensen will take a lead in the count. It's 3-1 now.
And we can't say it enough. Braden Christensen has been a very disciplined batter today. He's doing a great job so far. He's up 3-1 on the count.
Grigonis takes a look back at the dangerous Sias. He fires the 3-1. Oh, and fastball is called strike. That has definitely looked on the outer edge of the plate, if not even a little further that way, if you're catching my drift. But Christensen will watch. It's called a strike, and it's a full count now. Here's the full count, and it's 2 outside. Christensen with another walk. 3 plate appearances. I bet he's seen about 20 pitches at this point, and he's just making these pitchers work hard and getting bases.
I bet there's no complaint from the Warrior dugout on how Christensen's been in the batter's box today. He's doing a great job. Going out with a dangerous hitter like Mark Jackson up to bat. You know, can't underestimate the damage the Warriors can do here at the bottom of the third.
It's true. 2 outs now, but the Warriors are in business. 2 runners on. Great at bat from Christensen, and Jackson will hope to deliver. He calls time, though. Steps out. For those of you at home wondering, the rain has mostly subsided here. Rain, rain, go away. We don't want you here today. Jackson steps back in. Oh, a check swing, but he gets a piece of it, fouls it back.
Of course, Ben jinxed us. I just think I felt some sprinkles here, so we're gonna play it through.
I don't believe in
blame
jinx.
Ben.
Caden,
Yeah.
I don't believe in jinxes. This is Wheaton Academy. I believe in Almighty God, but not jinxes. Grigonis will look back in. Fires the 0-1. That's a breaking pitch, a little bit too inside. But you can tell it's got good action on it. Jackson immediately leaned back like it was about to hit him, but sees it was a breaking ball and it just darted down. Jackson steps back in, the 1-1. A loud rocket right to the second baseman. That's a nice piece of hitting, but just a well-placed defender, and the Warriors will come up empty in the bottom of the third. What did you see there, Caden?
No, I saw some really disciplined work in the batter's box, especially by Christensen. Jackson, you know, he was patient on it, but you know, maybe not the best swing there, and you know, got contact, but probably not the contact that he was looking for.
Yeah, it's a loud out. That'll be 3 outs now for the Warriors. And Lincoln Park will take the mound once again. We'll see you in the top half of the fourth.
Welcome back to Wheaton Academy. At the top of the fourth, Zagata will lead us off for the Spartans here.
Number 16 Zagata. Don't confuse him with number 40 Zagata. They are two different people. But Park will step in now, looking to complete a fourth frame for the Warriors. Oh, a little bit of an oddity now. It looked like a balk perhaps, but there's no runners on. The umpires are conferring, and they'll meet up now. A little umpire-on-umpire conversation.
Yeah, speaking of Park, how many innings do you think he has left? You know, we're a little over halfway through this game, and you know we haven't seen even a mound visit yet from Coach Swider.
Yeah, we'll see. Park, I mean, if you're just joining us now, the first inning was a little rough. Definitely a lot of pitches used. And then he settled into a nice groove. He's pitched 2 relatively clean innings, just 1 solo home run that cost him. But other than that, he's used up minimal pitches. He'll fire now. Strike called, 0-1.
You know, for closing, maybe in the 6th or 7th here, you could see Jai Cooks. We could also see Colton Miller come in to close out.
Yeah, they've done some good closing work for the Warriors this season as that pitch misses a bit outside. It's 1-1.
Also can not talk about Nathaniel Switzer, one of their best pitchers who they keep it in their back pocket maybe for later in this game.
That's up the middle. Fromm will get there, put a nice play on it, and make a great play. That's exactly what you love to see out of your shortstop. He makes a great play on a ground ball that looked like it might get some grass out into the center field.
And you really can't understate the impact that Jackson Fromm was being on this team in the batter's box and in the field, and maybe off the field too with some leadership aspects.
You're definitely right, Kate. And he's a leader not just on his team but on campus. They call him GL in the streets because he is a group leader, and he's carrying himself that way on the diamond right now with a nice play there. Can tell ever since the first inning, Park has worked considerably quicker. He's taken only a few seconds in between each pitch, and you can tell he's just trying to put that first inning behind him, and he's been working well here now for a couple innings. That's to second base. Christensen catches it on the fly. A nice play.
You know, after that home run, Park has looked significantly better. Looked a lot more confident, like you were saying, quicker, just getting those pitches out quicker.
And he gets 2 more quick outs here. He's been working fast and getting outs fast. And it's now the top of the 4th. He's 1 out away from 4 pretty clean innings. He curves one in there. That's a strike on the inside edge. 0-1 now. He gathers, just takes a couple seconds and fires. Another nice pitch. That'll be a swing for Spahn. He couldn't quite hold back on that pitch. It's 0-2 now. Park delivers. It's in the dirt.
Great block by Eli Kaufman there. You know, after that unfortunate mishap in the first inning, where the ball got to the backstop, been a lot better blocking balls.
Time called just as Park entered his motion. Can tell Spartans would love to disrupt a little bit of Park's groove right now. He is locked in and on his own tempo. He kicks and fires, though, too. And that is spun in there. Oh, a beautiful pitch over the inside edge for strike 3. Spahn just has to take it looking and is now going into the bottom of the 4th. A great outing for Park.
Absolutely. Check out our Instagram at TheRealWaTV. You'll see
A lot of content produced by our very own high school students. Welcome back, everyone. It's the bottom of the fourth. It is tied 3-3, the Spartans and Warriors in a nice duel right now. Pitcher Grigonis has been in a nice groove, and it'll hopefully be disrupted here by a couple powerful hitters, Jackson Fromm and Dallas Johnson up now. Here's the first pitch now. That's taken low and away. Grigonis now looks, fires the 1-0, and that just catches the bottom edge. It'll be 1-1. Fromm seems okay with that take there. I think he's embracing a little bit of that patient approach we've seen all day from the Warriors.
Absolutely, and when you're tied 3-3 in the bottom of the fourth, you gotta think, do I really want to swing at that pitch? And Jackson said no.
1-1 now, outside. Fromm with a nice take, 2-1. Grigonis looks in, fires the 2-1. Fromm might have went a little too far. Asked for a check immediately. Fortunately was not able to hold the swing back, so he'll step in, and it's 2-2.
It was close, but I do think he went around.
Yeah, you can tell he wanted to take it, just wasn't quite able to hold that bat back. Still holds a fine position in the count here. 2-2. A loud grounder to shortstop. He handles it, and he makes the play. Fromm is retired. A nice play by the shortstop.
First base umpire having some words with Fromm here. Calls out for Coach Swider. Maybe having a word about Fromm demanding for a swing check.
Not exactly sure what's going on here. Hard to believe Fromm would talk back to the first base umpire at all. It's not typically the way he rolls, but quick exchange, and Coach Swider had to go out there and clear things up. So after a little squabble out on the field, Johnson will step in. He takes one in the dirt. It is 1-0. Yeah, going back to that last play, Caden, you could tell Fromm immediately wanted a check on his swing from the first base umpire, and both umpires maybe looked a little angered by that. I don't know. That seemed well within his ability, but not quite sure what conspired then, as he then grounded out and had a quick word at first base. But the play moves on. Johnson now has a 2-0 lead in the count. Grigonis fires. That's in the dirt. 3-0 now. And no need to swing unless it's middle here, Caden.
Absolutely. And going back to our umpire situation, really well handled by the dugout. No uproar, and Coach Whiter was mature enough to listen to the umpire and calm his team down.
Absolutely, yeah. Good maturity and character shown from the Warrior dugout. Johnson now will watch the 3-0 pitch. And that is a strike. Grigonis fired the heater in there, challenged him. Johnson was content to take it. And that's all right. He'll climb back in 3-1 lead in the count. Grigonis fires. Oh, and Johnston looks ready to take his walk. The ump said otherwise. It is a full count now. That just caught the inside edge.
We couldn't ask for a better game here. Tied at the bottom of the fourth. Just a great matchup we're seeing so far.
Great rivalry duel right here. Here's the full count pitch. Oh, and that's a little bit low. Dallas swings, but it will not be dropped. Squeezed by the catcher, and that's a strikeout. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the fourth.
Does it get any better than Warriors Spartans at Wheaton Academy? You know, the weather's kind of holding off. Tie game, bottom of the fourth. Just some great defensive play by both pitchers. We also saw some great bats from both the Spartans and the Warriors. So it's a really great game we're witnessing right now. We're all lucky to be watching it.
That's so true, Caden. And one of those big bats is now up at the plate, Angelo Morel, who is responsible for not one, not two, but all 3 of the Warriors' runs, driving them all in. Now he steps in for his 3rd at bat, hoping to get yet another knock. And that's a loud pop fly to the outfield. Who's got it? The right fielder does. He corrals it. And that's 3 outs. A clean inning for the pitcher, Grigonis. And we go now to the 5th inning.
Update on our neighbors, the girls soccer game. They are up 5-0 just at a halftime. Warriors well in control of that game. Top of the 5th here, Park will remain on the mound, at least for the first batter. He's thrown all 5 innings so far. See how much more he has left in the tank.
Yeah, Park has racked up quite a few pitches now, but he's pitched very well for some time now. Gave up 2 in the first and then 1 other on a solo shot to deep left field. But other than that, he's been in a rhythm.
Back at the top of the lineup, Hauser in the box.
Park's been going to that breaking pitch quite a bit, and he's had great control over it all day. Not many walks you've seen out of him. He's been locating that well.
Absolutely.
Back in that quick delivery, the 0-1 now. It's a soft grounder to Fromm. He handles it, fires it over, and a clean out. You've just been seeing some stellar defense up the middle, especially from senior Jackson Fromm.
Absolutely. You know, props to Dallas on that play as well. You know, kind of low, but he was able to extend and make a play at first there. Props to him.
Yeah, it's a good call on that. Both the first baseman and the shortstop playing great defense out there.
Raquel now in the box.
And a wave and a miss. A nice first pitch from Park. He's been getting ahead in these counts, and it's really been paying off.
You know, that's the main difference we saw from the early innings to now, where Park's been able to get out in front, and instead of, you know, letting kind of silly hits up, he's been able to finish off these at-bats and done a really great job as of recent.
Park now delivers the 1-1. That is called a strike, a breaking ball. Raquel might have thought that was a bit inside, but it's called a strike. 1-2. Here's the pitch now. Fastball away. Called a ball. The count is now 2-2. Park delivers. And a breaking pitch called strike 3. Beautiful. Raquel just had to take it and now walks back to the bench as it's 2 outs and Park continues to roll.
And we can't understate the real power of this infield. We got Miller there, who is showing on his rocket of an arm. We've got, obviously, the senior Jackson Fromm and Dallas Johnson, who all done a great job defensively after that those miscues in the first.
Yeah, ever since the first inning, it's been clean pitching, clean defense for the Warriors. And they've handled all the attempts they've gotten in the infield, especially Fromm and Miller showing off their arms. That one's now to Christensen. He will handle the chance and throw it over to first. A 1-2-3 inning for Park, who stays in his rhythm.
You know, Christensen made me swallow my words there, for, not mentioning him in the power in this infield. Makes a nice play at first there to end the inning.
Yeah, shame on you.
Here you go, Colt. Here you go, kid. Give it a ride.
Welcome back to Warriors baseball. It's now the bottom of the 5th inning. We've been in a stalemate now for a couple innings. The score is 3-3, and both pitchers have been pitching quite well now for some time. But Colton Miller will now step into the box, hopefully get things started for the Warriors.
But I don't know if you feel this, but I'm feeling a big Warrior inning here. It's kind of been brewing for a while now. Getting good contact, seeing the pitch as well. Just ready for something to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Caden. We've seen contributions from up and down the order all day. It really hasn't been one guy or one part of the lineup. The whole lineup's been drawing long plate appearances, putting balls in play, and really showing some good at-bats here.
Absolutely, and, you know, we can't understate the impact Lincoln Park has had so far. You know, after that...
A loud ground ball, and that'll get through down the line. Miller will take a turn, and he will hold up at first base. A rocket down the line, but it's gotten there quickly by the left fielder. Great play, and it'll be just a single for Colton Miller, but a loud one.
As I was saying, you know, Lincoln Park, after that home run he gave up, you know, really hasn't made any errors since then, you know, on a whole lot of hits, no walks, I believe. Just done a fantastic job.
A good pickoff move from Grigonis, who, likewise to Park, he's been in a groove for some time, and I don't believe he has any runs charged to him, as both runners, the runners he did give up, were inherited to him by the last pitcher, and they're not charged to him. So he's been pitching well for some time. Fires in a strike there to Kaufman.
You know, we've seen Kaufman hit a couple home runs so far this season, so wouldn't be surprised here if he tries to someone to the back wall.
The one. A loud shout from the infield that Miller was going. They were deceived. He was not, but they fire it over. Check up on him. It's now 1-1 to Kaufman. Miller takes a big lead at first base. There's the pitch. And a little back pick there.
Good heads-up play by Miller there, knowing how much space he had and when the throw was coming.
Yeah, they're giving him a lot of attention over there. Every pitch has been either a pickoff or looking down at Miller. But he gets back and resumes his lead. Kaufman back in the box now. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss.
You know, Kaufman, you know, he's an athlete. He played up through middle school. He was a multi-sport athlete, but he's focusing on baseball here and really made an impact here on the varsity team in his junior year. Excited to see what he can do in his senior year.
Yeah, he's done a great job with the catching duties for the Warriors. Here's the 2-2. A loud foul ball. That's on to Hawthorne. Way to stay alive there for Kaufman. He'll see some more pitches here. He's been putting up long at bats.
That's kind of the theme of the Warrior offense: long at bats. You know, being patient. You know, this team is really showing its discipline.
Another pickoff move, and Miller once again is safe back at first. He's had to stay on his toes.
Kaufman struck out and a walk so far this game.
Here's the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Kaufman comes up empty. It'll be a strikeout.
The excitement is still brewing here for the Warriors. Nothing has blown over the top yet, but you know, just the way that we've taken pitches and seeing the ball well is definitely leading up into something big here for the Warriors.
Yeah, you can tell there's some energy for sure with the Warrior side. Here's the pitch. Eli Tate fouls it off. 0-1 now.
Tate, the backup catcher, now the DH.
Grigonis readies, fires another pitch. That's just a bit high and outside. A good take by Tate. It'll be 1-1 now. Two pitchers here have really been showing out for some time, but they're working on two different tempos. You can tell Parks trying to get through things quickly. He's been efficient, using minimal pitches, getting outs quickly. And Grigonis has really been taking his time. He's been analyzing a lot more and thinking through his pitches, you can tell, but both have been quite effective now for some time. Here's the pitch now. That's a nice breaking ball. It just sneaks in over the inside edge.
You know, kind of what you said earlier. It's just been a real team effort. You know, the Warriors saw their errors. You know, maybe some under par pitching there. You know, they really came together and rallied back to tie the game, and defense has been much better.
A little bit late on it, and that's a strikeout for Grigonis. His second in a row now. He's been looking nasty. Tate just was a little bit late on that high heater, so that'll be 2 outs now. Colton Miller gets checked up on for about the 6th time over there. You got to believe maybe he'll run one of these times. It'd be a shame if not with all this attention he's getting. He takes his lead again as Luke Lepatka steps into the batter's box. Fires. That is fouled way back onto the girls' soccer field. Luckily, the game had not resumed, so there's no one over there.
Try to give him a souvenir from our game over here. Maybe we'll get a soccer ball flying over here in a second.
Yeah. We've been talking them up, so hopefully that ball serves as a reminder that there's some baseball happening here. Here's the pitch. Colton Miller goes. There's a swing. And a lot happened on that play. Colton Miller takes second base. A swing and a miss in the dirt. It looks like the umpire might have taken one off the leg here. He's wincing a bit.
You know, it's kind of anticlimactic. All those checkups there on first base just for Miller to make it into second without a throw.
It's true. It really, the build-up really did not quite satisfy, considering Miller just took second base there, carefree. But Lepatka now will step in, hoping to drive in a runner in scoring position. And another step off. Miller is just dazing the Spartans right now. Grigonis, fire. Another foul ball off to the left side. Lepatka putting some nice swings on it. It's got to center it out a little bit, put one in play.
Love the fight here from Lepatka.
Yeah, you got to love it. He's just really bringing up some energy at the bottom of the order. Has been putting up good at-bats. Here's the 1-2. Another foul ball off onto the soccer field, and a second souvenir for the Lady Warriors out there.
Look, they made it to the 30-yard line. Oh, it was crushed foul.
The goalie retrieves it, and a nice throw to the sideline. Maybe she's played some softball back in her day. Lopaka will step back in after a couple foul balls. Grigonis kicks and fires. And a wave and a miss. Couldn't quite get a piece of that one. It's a strikeout. 3 strikeouts now in the inning for Grigonis. He pitches another clean one. And we're going to go to the top of the 6th. Still tied 3-3. If you've enjoyed this live stream, we have another one at Monday, 7 p.m. The Warrior lacrosse team will face off at home, and it should be a good game. Join us then. But for now, it's the top of the 6th inning. St. Francis will step back up to the plate, and it's been a great game so far. Only a couple more innings left. And who's back on the mound but senior Lincoln Park, out there for a 6th inning. He's taken a command of this game after a rough first inning. Has been dicing up guys. Oh, but not that one. That's out in the gap. Hit hard. That might roll all the way to the wall. He takes a turn to second. A nice throw over to first. And a great relay by the Warriors to hold that to a single.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, ever since that that home run that Park gave up, it really has been the Lincoln Park show so far today. He's done a phenomenal job keeping runs off the board and keeping us even here at 3.
That was a great hit by Griffin there. Zagato will now climb in. Oh, Lincoln will stumble, but gets the ground ball. A little bit of an awkward. Hopefully he's okay. Kind of fell over, but made a nice play. Weak ground ball up the middle. He turns to first and fires it there to get 1 out.
We do have some action in the St. Francis bullpen. Maybe someone to go in here in the 7th to finish him off, barring some Wheaton Academy runs.
Yeah, it's been a pitcher's duel now for some time, but yeah, you see St. Francis showing signs of a new pitcher. That's a nice pitch. First pitch curveball to Grigonis, who's been on the mound for a couple innings. Let's see if he can put up a good plate appearance to go with his stellar pitching.
Still quiet in the Warrior bullpen. The trust in Lincoln Park has not wavered from Coach Swider.
And that'll find a hole. Nice ground ball over to left field. The runner is going home. There's a play at the plate. And he is out. A great relay by the Warriors. Electric defense. And St. Francis will come up empty, even though a nice knock by Grigonis threatened the stalemate.
Just a phenomenal play by our outfield here, getting it to Eli Kaufman. Well done by Eli Kaufman to jump on that. I believe he wasn't even trying to slide to home. He was maybe a little off the baseline, and Kaufman realized that immediately and made the nice play at home.
Excellent relay by the Warriors. And now a little bit of a pinch running situation, getting their pitcher back in the dugout is St. Francis. And that's got to feel good for Lincoln Park. He's been doing his job, and the defense holds up, gives him a saving of a run. Now he's back at it. Oh, but that is cranked to right field. That is down the line, and a run will come home. Mark Jackson retrieves it, and it's back in the infield. St. Francis will take a lead. Couple knocks in a row now, and there's nothing the defense could do about that. That was just cranked down the right field line.
At this point, if you're Coach Swider, Lincoln Park has given you 6 great innings of baseball, but maybe it's time to turn someone with a fresher arm. You can definitely tell that after the phenomenal game Lincoln has given us, he's probably getting a little tired out there.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, and it's really 6 innings is
It's a marathon.
a ton of work, so you can't fault him for getting a little bit tired, but he'll keep pitching. And St. Francis just keeps on swinging. They've been making some loud contact here this inning. Lincoln Park looks at the runner, fires. A nice fastball, wave and a miss.
Lincoln Park has done a phenomenal job. Even after giving up runs, he's been able to put his head down and just pitch.
And he gets the strikeout. Gets out of the 6th inning. Some of his best work has come when St. Francis has been throwing punches, and he just throws them right back. The Warriors will now have to jump back, hopefully get some action going in the bottom of the 6th to retie this ball game or take a lead. Welcome back to Warriors baseball. It's the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Warriors got some work to do. St. Francis put up some loud contact in the top half of the inning and retook the lead. It's now 4-3 to the Spartans, but the Warriors now have 6 more outs to play with to get a run or more.
And no better way to start than one of the most patient hitters the Warriors have in Braden Christensen. Doing an absolutely phenomenal job so far, base running, staying patient at the plate, and just really trying to get the Warriors back into this game.
Yeah, Christensen has had 3 plate appearances, all 3 walks. And he takes a strike first pitch, but I don't think he minds. He's been doing that all day, and it's been working out for him.
The best type of hitter is that, just watching a strike just doesn't bother them. Just staying patient, especially when it's the first strike.
Oh, a little bit low and away maybe, but Christensen takes it. It's called a strike. It'll be 0-2. Grigonis on the mound for the Spartans has really been settling in nicely. That's outside. Christensen takes it. It'll be 1-2. Christensen steps back in. The count 1-2. Grigonis fires. That's a little bit up. A nice take from Christensen. Not an easy one. You got to imagine he might draw another walk here. He's just been incredibly patient, has been waiting for his pitch to drive it.
wants to show bunt again and try to frazzle the pitcher again. It's worked twice already. Hope Braden can hear us just right behind him, because it could be the play here.
It really could be the move. Braden is ready. The 2-2. A little bit late on that outside fastball. A wave and a miss. Another strikeout for Grigonis, who's had quite a few in a row now. He's been locked in.
Yeah, Grigonis, you can tell, just loves that spot. You know, for those lefty hitters, the outside, for these righty hitters inside, you know, just really loves that spot. And, you know, not a lot of people have been able to touch that pitch so far.
Mark Jackson will now climb in with 1 out. Not panic mode yet for the Warriors, but only 5 more outs. A little bit more urgency, and that is cranked to left field. In an absolutely stellar catch from left field. The Spartans, with incredible defense, rob Mark Jackson of a double at least.
Really just a phenomenal play there by that Spartan outfield. You know, really can't get any better than that. Can't ask for that.
Yeah, that's a great play by Frank in the outfield. Up against the wall.
Leaping. You know, if you're Mark Jackson, you know, there's really nothing you can do about that. Just really well hit. Just a better play in the field.
Jackson Fromm will now climb in with 2 outs. A little bit of a jam shot. Oh, and a bare hand play by Coach Swider. He still has it over there. Fromm now really has been looking for his pitch. He's had a couple balls put in play, been productive outs, but you could tell he's really looking for that big knock. Ooh, that's a nice pitch.
Grigonis says to Park, I'll one up you. He's done a phenomenal job just keeping runs off the board.
Yeah, he's come in and really taken control of this game. Hasn't given up much to the Warriors since he came in. Here's the pitch now. A breaking ball darted to the dirt. Apologies if I flinched a little bit.
Happens to the best of us, especially when we're right behind home plate. Best seats in the house.
The day has turned a little bit overcast. When we began, it was a little bit sunny, a little bit cloudy, nice and warm, and it's turned to a little chilly here, a little bit rain here and there, and quite an overcast day. Oh!
And a controversial call.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Chaos has ensued. Jackson Fromm just got pelted on the hand and an immediate foul ball call. I don't know if this will hold up in court. I think just taking one look at Fromm's hand will show you that he got hit.
Coach Swider letting his opinion be known to both umpires. It looks like they'll probably keep it a foul ball.
Oh, my goodness.
You can hear metal.
Right off Fromm's hand, but yeah, an immediate foul ball call from the umpire. He was quite convicted of it, but as soon as he made the call, I mean, both Fromm, Swider, and the whole Warrior bench just erupted. Yeah, there was big outcry. And you could tell, I mean, Fromm's in some pain. He's stretching out his fingers here.
Watch that replay. It's hard to tell with it not being slowed down. And
Terrible. Embarrassing.
it looks like they'll keep it a foul ball here. The 1-2 count with 2 outs.
Home plate ump. So Fromm will climb back in. Probably the most painful foul ball he'll experience. That's a little bit low. Yeah, you can just tell Fromm's a fighter, having to climb back in there after taking one off the hand.
Looks like the weather has reflected the Warriors' reaction to that
yeah,
call. It's
we're
starting to pour down a little bit more.
An outcry and a downpour here. Fromm gets a piece of it. Oh, and now the catcher is in some pain here. The battery is taking a beating. An eventful plate appearance if you're just joining us. Jackson Fromm's been fighting off a couple foul balls, took one that appeared to go off the hand, immediately called a foul ball by the home plate umpire. And now he fouled one in the dirt that looked to catch a piece of the catcher, and now he's in some pain here.
You know, going back to in between mid-inning, you look at the Warriors dugout, and you could see Coach Swider huddling them up, trying to rally his guys together, and probably spark some passion in them that maybe erupted in the controversial foul ball play. But if they can see they can turn this passion into hits and offense here, the Warriors have a chance to come back here as the St. Francis catcher looks to be up on his feet again.
You love to see that the catcher is back up, and now the plate appearance will resume. Both catcher and batter a little worse for wear, but they will climb back in.
Count is 2-2. 2 outs. Pitch.
Oh, and that is called strike 3. Just caught the low outside edge. That's just a tough plate appearance for Fromm. You can tell.
It really is.
Didn't quite agree with all those calls there.
Yeah, that foul ball, hand play, you really can't control that. It looks like Park will take the mound here.
Wow, no one in the bullpen at all. And senior Lincoln Park is going to go out there and attempt a little complete game.
Absolutely. And, if it's a dicey move, but, Park has been doing phenomenal. Just hope that he can have that energy that he has left and finish this game. And for the Warriors, it's becoming danger time. Down 1 run, you have to get the bats going here in the bottom of the 7th, or else you're looking at a loss to a struggling Spartan team. When I mentioned too, they're 4-5 on the season. Obviously had that great success last season, making it all the way to the state championship game. But kind of a lackluster start to this season. And the Warriors probably heavily favored in this game, but really did struggle when it came to giving up runs.
Yeah, we'll step away now for a sec. It's St. Francis Spartans 4. It's the Warriors 3 going into the top of the 7th. If you're just joining us, the rain is starting to fall in West Chicago, and a baseball game needs to be completed. It's the 7th inning, and who but Lincoln Park steps back onto the mound for his 7th inning now. He's given up 4 runs, but has been pretty effective. It's quite a few pitches at this point, and he's just been a workhorse for the team.
Absolutely, and we really can't say this enough, how much of a phenomenal game he's had so far.
Tried to spin one right at the top of the zone. It's called a ball. 1-1 now. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. It'll get out of play. The cars are put on alert. It's 1-2 now.
The Warrior and Spartan faithful remain out here. Even if the rain through shine, they'll stay out here for their teams.
It's true. And there is a nice curveball at the top of the zone. Another strikeout for Lincoln Park. Now it's the top of the order here for the Spartans with a couple last chances to get some insurance on their 1-run lead here.
You got to think if you're Lincoln Park here, you're committed to striking these next 2 batters out, not getting up any runs.
There's a nice breaking pitch to get him up 0-1. That's been a theme throughout the day, Caden. He's been spinning that up there, getting a lead in the count, and then working from there. That's fouled back. 0-2.
Oh, now. Just one pitch away from putting them away and just having one more out and letting the Warriors do their thing. Try to get back in this game.
And that's in the dirt. A swing and a miss from Hauser. Another strikeout for Park, and he's looking strong to complete this game.
Just one more from him, and the Warriors get a chance to go to the bottom of the 7th, try to rally back, and put this one away as a victory.
And Park is ready to go. Ruckel climbs in. Oh, and that is cranked to deep left field. And a nice catch out there by Luke Lepaka to end the inning. Looked like it might be extra bases for Ruckel, but Lepaka says no. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. The Warriors down 1 run, hoping to tie it or win it.
And the time is now. You know, the time has run out. We have to get some runs on the board here, or else we're looking at a loss that probably should have been a win.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you in the bottom of the 7th. It's the Warriors 4. It's the Spartans 3. Welcome back to Warriors baseball. It's the bottom of the 7th, and one last chance for the Warriors to put some runs on the board. Otherwise, it's going to be an L.
You know, Dallas Johnson, the time has never been better for him to whip up that home run skill that he has, that he just flexed this so far this season.
Yeah, quite a few home runs on the year for Dallas, 4 to be exact. Wouldn't be a bad time for his 5th. Oh, and that's at his toes. He's got to dodge out of the way. If you're just joining us, Grigonis has been on the mound for nearly 6 innings now, and he has been dialed in, giving up none of his own earned runs. And that is cranked to deep right center. And an incredible catch out there. Another stellar play for the Spartan outfield, and they've been taking extra bases away from the Warriors.
Absolutely, and if you're Dallas, that's crushing. Just a great hit ball. No, definitely looked like it could get 2 or maybe 3 bases, and it just all wiped off the board.
That hurts for the Warriors. Definitely looked like there'd be a runner on second and third to start the inning, but a great play by the Spartans. You got to tip your cap and move on. 2 more outs to work with for the Warriors.
It's 2 plays in the field by the Spartans that have really just hurt the Warriors.
Sophomore Angelo Morel now steps up to the plate, hoping to add on to his 3 RBI day. Yeah, that's right. You've heard it correct. He has knocked in all 3 of the Warriors' runs, a sophomore on the varsity team, but he has been balling out here today.
Would be a great time for a 4th. Time has never been better.
Yeah, Caden, I'm looking at the student section out in left field, no shirts on, over the wall. That'd be a great place to deposit one here for Angelo. He fouls it back.
You know, say what you want about the Warrior baseball team, but they have some very loyal fans who've stuck with them through rain and even in the outfield, showing maybe a little too much support.
Too much support is right, Caden. Here's the pitch now to Morel. That's in the dirt, a great eye. He takes a lead in the count.
You know, at this point in the game, I mean, every pitch means something. You know, if it's your pitch and you're the right batter, then take it to the wall here and tie the game up. But also have a eye for the balls that are low.
Strike called on Morel. The bench wasn't quite happy about it. It looked a little low from here, but it'll be a strike, no doubt.
Two is the count.
That's cranked to second base, and it's caught on the fly. A well-placed fielder despite a nice rip by Morel. It'll be 2 outs now, and up to Colton Miller to stave off a loss here for the Warriors.
Tying run out on the plate right now. Miller, who has shown that he has some power in his swing, for one last chance, potentially, to get the Warriors tied back in this game. Pitch to Miller.
That is fouled back. A nice hack by Miller there. Gergonis looking to finish off this game for the Spartans. He's been a storyline all day, as really, whether it's the defense or the strikeouts. Ever since he's come in, the Spartans have really locked it down and have not given the Warriors much to work with here. He kicks and fires now for the next pitch to Miller. That's spiked in the dirt. Easy take for Miller.
And the eye that Miller has right now should be the eye that every Warrior who comes into the box should have right now. Just waiting for his pitch, but you know, the time is now to start swinging the bat.
Caden, I'm seeing it now. In the on-deck circle is none other than Dominic Morel, the star player for the Warriors here. You'd love to see him get up to the plate if Miller gets on here.
Yeah, kid is lightning in a bottle. He's fast, he can steal base, and can hit home runs.
Lightning in a bottle is correct. Miller will now step in to take the pitch. It's a breaking ball, called a strike. 2 strikes now on Miller. And the Warriors are down to their last pitch. Gergonis readies, and he fires the pitch. It's a weak grounder. It might find some room here. The third baseman makes a play on it, and Miller beats it out. And that'll play for the Warriors. A little weak ground ball to third base. Found some life out there in the infield, and the Warriors are alive yet again with a stud up to bat. Caden, can you tell us a little bit about Morel?
The Bethel College commit, who has had a phenomenal season so far, who has led the team in stolen bases, now has an opportunity to play hero here for the Wheaton Academy Warriors here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Dom is batting close to 500 on the year. It's the flip of a coin if he gets a knock here or not. I say heads, he does. Miller gets back, and they just continue to try and pick off Miller. I don't know if that's one of the top storylines of the day, but it's certainly been a factor every time he's on base.
With one swing of the bat, Morel can send the Warriors home with a win.
That's a little popped up into the infield, and a diving play by the second baseman. A great play by Hauser, and unfortunately, the Warriors are going to go home with a loss here. Some phenomenal defense by the Spartans to finish this thing off, and it was a whole team effort.
Absolutely, and you have to tip your cap here to the pitching, whether that's it's Gornick or who do we have? We had he really did the bulk of the pitching, and he just did a phenomenal job. Warriors cannot hang their head, though, because of the phenomenal pitching that Lincoln Park put on display today, and the bats that many of the Warriors displayed today as well.
So it's the Spartans 4, it's the Warriors 3. It's a close game here in West Chicago, but the Spartans will come away with the victory. Thank you to the whole production crew for putting this live stream on. This will be Ben and Caden signing out for the day.
No.